order for you to accomplish your goals and your dreams, in order for you to finally take this business to the next level, in order for you to finally lose this weight, in order for you to accomplish your goals and your dreams, in order for you to finally write this book, in order for you to make some extraordinary things happen, what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to die to who you are right now in order to give birth to the person that you're going to become. Because here's what I know. If who you are right now could get you everything that you wanted, if who you are right now could get you that book deal, if who you are right now could get you that position you're looking to hit in the company, if who you are right now could allow you to have the ideal body that you want, if who you are right now would allow you to get out of debt and do all the things that you want to do, you would already have it. So what does that mean? What it means is, in order for you to make some special things happen, in order for you to grow, in order for you to take your life to the next level, what it means is that you are going to have to kill who? Yourself. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is you're going to have to get uncomfortable. What I mean is you're going to have to stretch yourself. What I mean is you're going to have to grow. Because the only way that you're going to attain those things that you're looking to accomplish, to take your business to the next level, to finally lose that weight once and for all, to finally be able to live your passion and your goals and your dreams, to develop that voice that you've been meaning to develop, that voice that can touch and inspire lives, to be able to finally become this entrepreneur, this successful entrepreneur that you've been wanting to be, the person that you are right now, this minute, has to go away. And this person has to make room for this new person that you're going to have to give birth to, this new person with a higher level of consciousness, this new person who's willing to embrace the fear, this new person who's willing to step outside of their comfort zone, this new person who's willing to tackle challenges, this new person that has new skills, new talents, new gifts, this new person that can only come about if you're willing to let go of the person that you are right now. And so this past weekend, I had a couple of opportunities to speak and address an audience. And one of the events that I spoke at this weekend was a women's empowerment event. It was this past Saturday. It was at an event called Girl Connection. It was hosted by a young lady by the name of LaQuisha Williams. And this was a powerful event. As a matter of fact, it was all women, powerful women speakers with the exception of myself. And you know, of course, I was looking forward to a different opportunity of being the only male in the lineup of a complete female empowerment series. And let me tell you, it was a great event. And people flew in from everywhere. There are people who flew in from the Bahamas, people that flew in from New York. There are people that came in from Georgia, and it was a packed room. And what I know is as soon as I entered the room, I can tell that people were eager and wanting something, that they were eager to take their lives to the next level. They were eager to empower themselves. But let me tell you what was special about this weekend. What was special about this event is that the young lady who put the event on, this young lady by the name of LaQuisha Williams, I happen to have now been around her for quite a bit of time, and one of the things that I know, which a lot of people may have not known over this weekend, is that one of her greatest fears, one of her biggest challenges, is speaking in front of people. As a matter of fact, she's what you call a PK, which is a pastor's kid. And one of the things about being a pastor's kid is that oftentimes you're going to be called upon in some kind of leadership position in order to lead some other people. And every single time she's been approached with an opportunity to get in front of a crowd, to get in front of a small group, to address a group of individuals, every single time she said, absolutely not. No way, impossible. I'm not getting in front of anybody. There's no way I'm doing that thing, because she's just been that fearful of speaking in front of the audience. Matter of fact, statistics show that outside of the fear of death, outside of the fear of heights, outside of the fear of spiders, that the fear of speaking in public is one of the greatest fears that there is. So it's just become one of those known things that don't ask Miss Williams to speak in front of a crowd. It's just something that she doesn't do. But let me tell you something. Something special happened this weekend. Not only did she host an event where she brought in some powerful speakers and had some speakers that many of which have been in front of audiences of thousands of people. Not only did she have people who are flying in from outside the country in different states to come to the event, but in the lineup for her particular event, that she decided to be a speaker herself. As a matter of fact, she spoke for over 30 minutes. And there's some people who are sitting in the room who know the Miss Williams of the past, who know how terrified, how petrified that she's been of actually speaking in front of an audience, how terrified and petrified she's been in speaking in front of a group, and they looked at her in shock. And so I had the opportunity to speak with her on the phone. And I was telling her about how proud I was, about the fact that she's gone through the process, and now here she was, that she actually spoke in front of this large audience. And I was asking her, I said, well, how did you do it? And she said, well, first of all, it's important that you know this. She said, I was terrified. I was so afraid. But she said, listen, but here's what happened. Before my event, before I got in front of this large audience, that there's on multiple occasions that I finally built some courage in spite of the fear. And she said, I remember Joyce Meyer said that you've got to do it in afraid, that I decided to get in front of some small groups, not big, large groups, but just in front of groups of about 5 and 6 people. And she said, Andy, every single time I got in front of a small group, I was killing the old me. The old me was dying away, and the new me was coming forward. Every time I decided to face my fears and push through the fears and get in front of a small group, there's a part of me that died. Every single time I decided to step outside of my comfort zone and do this thing that was uncomfortable to me, the old me died. Every single time that I found myself sweating and I wanted to talk myself out of it and I wanted to back up and I stepped forward and I embraced that moment, I was killing the old me. And so what they saw this past weekend, what they saw Saturday, what they saw this past Saturday was the new Miss Williams. Why? Because the old Miss Williams had died. And so here's what I say to you. That when you look at your goals and your dreams and the things that you're looking to accomplish, and I know that I've spoken to many of you, have I gone out to seminars and workshops and coaching groups and hearing your voices on this call. I know that many of you, you have dreams and aspirations of writing a book, that some of you want to develop your voice and become a speaker, that many of you are involved in different businesses and multi-level marketing organizations, and you're looking to get up to the top position in the company, that some of you, you have this dream, this business that you've been wanting to create. You've been thinking about it. You've been possibly talking to people. You've been entertaining it. You've been working on your business plan, but you just haven't taken the steps into action. And some of you, you have this goal, this dream, this gift, this thing that's inside of you that you know that you need to pursue, that you've been wanting to pursue. And so you're saying to yourself that I've got to do this. And here's what I say to you, that the only way that you're going to accomplish your goals and your dreams, the only way that this book is going to be written, the only way that you're going to develop this voice is you've got to die to who you are right now. Why? Why? Because in order for you to give birth to the person that you're going to become, you got to die to who you are right now. Because if who you are right now was all that you needed in order to accomplish your goals and your dreams, you would have already done it. And so what does that mean? What it means is you're going to have to grow. What it means is you're going to have to find a way to get uncomfortable. And you're going to have to literally get comfortable with being uncomfortable. What it means is you're going to have to decide to walk away from those old limitations, those old thoughts, those old friends, those things that are holding you back, those things that are literally killing you. And what you're going to have to be willing to do is to look yourself in the mirror and accept and acknowledge the fact that the person that you are right now is not developed enough, that the person that you are right now needs to increase their mindset, that the person that you are right now needs to learn some new skills, some new talents, the person that you are right now has to overcome some fears, that the person that you are right now has to step outside of their comfort zone in order to give birth to the person that you need to become. Because that's what's required for you to finally make this thing happen. And that's what's required for you to have your breakthrough. That's what's required for you to see some real transformation. I remember about 2 years ago, there's a gentleman who walked into the gym, and he has one of those real distinct looking facial features. And so if he came by you, you wouldn't miss him. And I remember with the first day that he came into the gym, you could tell he was the new guy. He was walking around and looking around at all the equipment, and he was reading the charts and doing much more than everybody else. And this guy obviously is not a guy who's accustomed to coming to the gym. He was at least, I would guess, just by looking at him, at least about 70 pounds overweight. And I remember seeing him the first day and seeing him a second day and saying to myself that I wonder if this guy's going to last. And then I remember the very first time when I was on the elliptical machine, this guy came and he got next to me. He got on the elliptical machine, and I remember him turning it on, and now he's about 3-4 minutes into it. And I could tell that he had it at a pace, he had it at a rate that was probably a little more than what he should be doing. And I remember being next to this guy and watching this guy, the way he would start sweating, and listening to this guy, the way he'd start panting and breathing. And I saw him, and I said, man, this guy is literally killing himself. And then I would go over to where the free weights were, and I would see this guy come over, and he would get underneath the bench machine, and he wouldn't have much weight on there, and he would get underneath there, and he would start straining and pushing, and I thought every moment I would look over at him, and I thought that any minute I'd have to run over and pull the bar off of his chest, because as he was lifting the weights, I thought he was going to kill himself. And then here it was, the following week, once again, this guy is still showing up, and he's getting on the elliptical machine, and this guy is working out. And once again, he's breathing, he's putting in the work, he's starting to sweat. And I'm saying to myself that it's only a matter of time before this guy kills himself on this elliptical machine. I would get off the machine. It'd literally be about 10, 15 minutes later, and he's still on there. He's still going, still breathing hard, still sweating. I said, man, this guy is insane. And later on, he'd come around, he'd get on the free weights, and he'd push himself and push himself. And I said, man, this guy is either going to kill himself or he's going to quit. And next thing you know, a couple weeks went by. Next thing you know, a couple months went by. And now this guy, his body is starting to transform. Now this guy, he's walking with a different kind of posture. Now this guy, he's starting to come into the gym with different type of workout clothes. Now this guy who at one point would get on the elliptical machine and be breathing all hard, now he'd stay on there at times 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and wouldn't even break a sweat. And now I see this guy picking up his notepads. He's getting under the machinery. He's getting under the free weights. He's putting more and more weights. And literally it was about 6 months later. And when I looked at the guy, I was in absolute shock. He looked like an entirely different person. As a matter of fact, if you aligned all the guys up in the gym, I would say that he'd be in the top 5 as far as physiques. And I looked at this guy and I said, wow, he was a completely different person. And what I realized is when he was running on that elliptical machine, those first couple of days and those first couple of weeks, and he was on that bench machine, and he was using those free weight machines. And I was looking over at him, and I said, this is crazy. This guy is going to kill himself. What I realized, it wasn't that he was going to kill himself. He killed that guy. That guy that he was 6 months ago was gone. That guy no longer existed. He killed that guy within the first couple of weeks of coming to the gym. He killed that guy when he decided to step outside of his comfort zone. He killed that guy when he pushed himself beyond the regular limits. He killed that guy when he decided to do whatever it took. He killed that guy when he decided to put in the extra work and the extra effort. And because he was willing to die to who he was then, he gave birth to a new man. And so I know that it's going to require some work. I know it's going to require that you get uncomfortable. I know it's going to require that you get outside of your comfort zone. But here's what I know. That if you're looking to take your goals to the next level, if you're looking to finally write this book, if you're looking to finally turn your situation around, that who you are right now is not going to get you there. That what it's going to require is it's going to require that you literally kill yourself. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds harsh, but you've got to die to who you are right now in order to give birth to the person that you need to become. Why? Because if who you are right now would bring you and attract to you all the things that you wanted in life, you would already have it. So that means that you still got to grow. That means that you still got to stretch yourself. That means that you still got to discover some things about yourself that you didn't know. Here's one of the things that we all are familiar with, but perhaps we don't understand the process. Maybe we don't understand what happens. When you're looking to grow a plant, one of the things that you have to do is you've got to get a seed. And once you get that seed, you've got to put it in some soil, and you bury that seed in the soil. In the process of burying the seed in the soil, well, what you're actually doing is you're killing the seed. You literally kill the seed. And once that seed dies, what it does is the outer shell, the outer part of that seed, it begins to decay and it starts to open up. The outer shell gets shed. And what happens is because the outer shell dies, there's something in it that's alive. There's something in it that is waiting to push through. There's something in it that is waiting to rise. And so here's what I know. That your seed, this gift that you have, this thing that you want, this dream that you have to be willing to literally bury it. You've got to bury those old limitations. You've got to bury that old mindset. You've got to bury those negative talking friends. You've got to bury those old skill sets, the ones that no longer work right now. And you've got to allow this outer shell that you've been carrying around, this outer shell of limited beliefs, this outer shell of these limited skill set, this outer shell, a limited level of consciousness, this outer shell that's been keeping you away from that thing that you want, that you've got to die and allow that outer shell to shed so that what's in you, this amazing gift that's in you, this book that's in you, this voice, this message that's in you, this dream that you've had that's in you, that you've got to kill this outer shell so this thing that's in you can come forward. So this thing that's in you can push through the surface. And you see, when that seed is underneath the dirt, and the outer shell begins to die, and it begins to shed. That process, they say that what is happening is the seed has begun to germinate. And germinate is nothing more than a fancy word to say that this seed that's once been dormant, this seed that has been sleeping, this seed that has just been in you, this seed of writing this book that's been lying dormant in you, this seed, this desire that you've had to hit the top position in your company that's in you, this seed, this gift, this skill, this talent, this dream, this thing that's in you that's been lying dormant, that you've got to be willing to kill the outer shell so that it can go ahead and come through and push through the surface. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm instructing some assassins. And as you hear my voice right now, you are an assassin. And I'm not asking you to go out and hurt anybody. And I'm not asking you to even hurt yourself physically. But what I'm saying is that you've got to kill who you are right now, the person that you are right now, the person that has the limited beliefs, the person that is afraid to face their fears, the person that's been holding on to old skill sets, the skill sets that worked 10 years ago, 15 years ago, perhaps 3 years ago, that no longer work today, the person that needs to stretch, the person that needs to grow, the person that needs to get with the program, the person that needs to increase their level of consciousness, the person that needs to get the coaching, the person that needs to get the mentoring, the person that needs to attend the seminars and the workshops, the person that needs to read the books, the person that needs to surround themselves with the right people. That person needs to die so that you can give birth to this person that you need to become. And so if you say to yourself, but Andy, this is comfortable. I don't want to die. I like holding on to this person, because when I hold on to this person, I don't have to worry about doing things that are uncomfortable. When I hold on to this person, I don't have to worry about facing my fears. When I hold on to this person, I can still hang around and surround myself with other people who are low thinking. When I hold on to this person, I don't have to hold myself accountable. When I hold on to this person, I don't have to stretch. I don't have to grow. When I hold on to this person, I don't have to worry about pursuing my goals and my dreams. I don't want to kill that person. And so here's what I want to remind you. If that person that you're holding on to right now, if that person was enough to accomplish your goals and your dreams, if that person had all the skills, if that person had the level of consciousness that's required, if that person had the right level of influence, if that person had the right people around them, if that person was the person that you needed to be to get all the things that you wanted in life, you would already have them. And so what it means is that all of us, that we have to be willing to let go of that old person, that we've got to bury this old person with the limited mindset, this old person with the limited beliefs, this old person that avoids fear, this old person that avoids stepping outside the comfort zone, that we've got to let that person go. And then once we let go of that person, that we've got to be willing to embrace this process, that we got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, that we got to be willing to do whatever it takes, that we've got to be willing to stretch ourselves, to grow, to take on new skills, to go to seminars, workshops, read the books and the tapes and find mentors and find new people to surround ourselves, people who don't just criticize us, that people who magnify our dreams, people who make us want to increase in consciousness, people that make you want to step your game up. And once you decide to embrace the process, you've got to commit yourself to growing. You see, the people who've accomplished mastery in life, the people who continue to grow, the people who do extraordinary things, they're the people who wake up every day and say to themselves, I understand that I must die daily. Every single day, I'm looking to grow. Every single day, I'm looking to learn something new. Every single day, I'm looking to change from the person that I was yesterday. Every single day, I want people to look back and say, boy, if you met him or her this year, or if you heard him or her yesterday, man, you got to hear them today. That they obviously been working on themselves. They've obviously been reading some books. They've obviously been getting on some calls. They've obviously been surrounding themselves with some different people. They've obviously been increasing in consciousness. Why? Because I tell you, whoever they were yesterday, they're no longer that person today. Why? Because they've made the commitment to keep the course. They've made the commitment to work on themselves. They've made the commitment to die daily. You must die to who you are right now in order to give birth to this person that you're going to become. And so, yeah, I know that sounds a little crazy. Maybe no one has ever asked you to be an assassin. Nobody's ever said to yourself that I want you to kill someone. As a matter of fact, I want you to kill yourself. And I'm not talking about a physical death. No. I'm talking about shedding that old you, that the you that is holding on to the fear, to limited limitations, the old you that is no longer serving you, the old you that that is engaged in low level thinking, the old you that can't allow you to get to where you want to go. And so I ask you to make the commitment to die to who you are right now in order to give birth to the person that you're going to become. This has been Andy Henriquez, and I want to remind you to always show up for your life. Because if you don't, ladies and gentlemen, no one else will.